All right, trombone friends, this is Jeff Phillips from Belmont University, and our etude that I'm going to look at this time is the grade 7 and 8 lyrical, excuse me, for trombone. And right off the bat, we want to look at that key signature, make sure that we flush any, especially B flats, E flats, A flats, flush them out of your head because they're not in here. So natural, everything's natural. So there's not any accidentals. There's no excuse to miss a note. Okay, so I'm gonna take it a little phrase at a time. This opening has a lot of possibilities that could be really cool. So watch and listen here. I just want to play that much. First of all, it's marked piano. Don't get overly paranoid about what is piano. There's not somebody back there behind that cardboard screen with a decibel meter saying, oh, they've exceeded this many decibels, that's not piano. At least there better not be. If you find out there is, you send them to me and I'll take care of them. Okay, so piano is whatever comfortable volume you need to play. All right, so don't get obsessed about the piano dynamic level that you try to play so soft that this comes out and you go, oh, I gotta play soft, oh gosh. And then junk comes out, then you panic, and the whole rest of the etude is shot. So play comfortable volume. The other thing I want you to notice is did you see where I played those notes? Played C in third. I played my D in a flat fourth, my B in a regular fourth, and then my E in where? That's right, flat second, not just regular old second. So, a couple things. B to E. I can do that. One is a natural slur, but I also want to hear that interval there from B to E. Hear how that was really sharp? So you want to make sure you pull that out just a little bit. Now, notice also that I did not tongue anything except the very first note. That really makes it smooth. Now, most people are going to go, which one creates extra motion that you don't need, and two, it's also going to risk you maybe smearing from the D to the B. So it might take a little practice to do that. That's why you do lip slurs, because that's essentially what this is a lip slur, but you move your slide. Now, legato, if you go to my website, you'll find out a whole little thing on legato exercises and kind of how to do that. So I'm not going to get into that here, but you want to make sure that those eighth notes are very smooth. And I did play that D in first position because it made more sense in that passage. So it kind of depends on where you are and what you're doing. All right. Now you've got the low G to the C marked mezzo piano, so it's a notch louder, which is good because you're going down and you want to use a little more air. It's going to give you a little more security down there, and that way those notes won't be fluffy. You've also got G, E, and C. If you got the trigger, the valve, then all you got to do is press that, and you get a natural slur all the way. No tonguing. Okay, so if you don't have an F attachment, you will have to go out to 6 for the C, but just try to practice going from E to C a little bit. And getting the timing and the coordination between the hand and your slide. Okay? And then again, the low G is mezzo piano, so in the context of this first 4 bars, that's your loudest point. Now, somewhere in there, you may have to breathe. I'm old and somewhat anemic, and No, really. And so I might need, if I'm playing all four of those, which I might do here in a second, uh, playing the whole thing, I might need to take a breath in there somewhere. You having young, wonderful lungs, you might not. You might be able to have four measures in one breath and actually play that fourth bar louder. I don't know. If you are, good for you. So then I'm going to, again, back off. If I play mezzo piano nice and healthy, then I just have to back off a little bit, and it sounds like I made a huge difference. So then I didn't have to play like super duper soft and worry about anything or nothing coming out. All right, so. So, in my playing, and again, you can find a video on this on my website, but I mix legato tonguing with natural slurs with the intent that they start to sound the same. So there's a natural slur, but those first three notes I have to legato. But I want everything to sound the same. That's the way I would play it. Just as you're working on your legato, try to avoid going. I played all the notes and rhythms. Yes, you did, but you tongued every one of them. So there. Low crescendo as the notes go up. That's going to actually feel pretty good because that'll give you more air, more security as you go higher. All right. As you get in the second line, G, C, E. There's that E again that you want to make sure is in a flat second, not a regular one. Listen to it wrong. Okay, so you can check with a tuner. You can also use those tuners that are on either side of your head. They're called ears. And that will help you find where that E is, but it's a little bit further out than a normal second position. Okay, again, nice natural slurs there, at least for me. Might practice that. Try to go faster. Not gonna play it that way, but it's a good exercise. D to C, the next measure. If you do it flat fourth to third. Which you might get a little smeary in there if you go from first to third. Just throwing that out there. I had a band director one time who said, I don't like my students to play those alternate positions because they're out of tune. And I say, no, they're not out of tune. They're just playing them that way. So you just have to get used to it. You know, it just takes a little bit of listening to and figuring out where they are on your horn. And it can make a whole world of difference in your playing. So anyway, don't be scared of them. And if we start early enough, we're not trying to cram that in the week before the audition. Anyway, all right, so then the third measure is kind of like that, some of the stuff at the first. I've got some options there. That time I went to first. What if I did? Oh, blow your mind. I just played the D in fourth and the E in fifth. Oh my God. Can that be done? Yes, it can. Just throw that out there for your consideration. That's the fourth measure on line 2. Watch this. You got a whole lot of options of where you can play notes. Experiment at this stage of the game. See which is the smoothest for you. See which is the easiest. Where do you get the better sound? Okay. So. I'd probably play it that way, just because. Then I'm at forte, and kind of the reverse of what I had at the beginning of the line. Okay, and then last measure. Or I would probably go to sixth, just because the slide keeps going the same way and we're decrescendoing, and it might make that taper a little bit easier and less bumpy. Okay, so there's some good dynamic markings in here. Make sure you observe those. Okay, let's see what happens. Tapered the end there with a little retard. I don't think there's anything wrong with being musical. I did hear discuss with a director actually this summer. Said, "Oh no, some of these audition etudes. If it's not written, you shouldn't do it." I disagree. I think if it's musically done and in good taste, that's extra points. That's that column there at the end that says musicality. And if your judge can't figure that out, they don't need to be judging. Yes, I said it. Quote me, please. Okay. All right. There's your 7/8 lyrical trombone etude. Happy tromboning.